Welcome to today's video where we're going to break down my most recent music video that I directed. The reason why I'm making this video is because I want to go through the 3 stages that we went through in terms of pre-production, production and post-production. So budgeting, concept / treatment, and then also the production, so the actual day of the shoot, the lighting setups, the kind of things that we did and the decisions we made, and also in the post-production some decisions and things that we did that made the video pop. I wish I had something like this when I was younger, just to tell me how the hell to potentially structure going about making a music video with a budget of around 8,000 euros. I'll create a new project in which I have my template. So I fill in all this information at the top, such as the date, delivery dates, the client, these kinds of things that are useful for invoicing. What we have here is my pre-production process. And so in Notion, I start with my budget. I always figure out the budget first. So in my cost calculator, I have the 3 phases of production. You have the pre-production, the production, the post-production. So in the pre-production, we have things like research, script writing, producer, creative director, location scouting, casting. We go to the production expenses now. Location fees, roughly 900 euros. Catering, this is all just rough. Camera, so this is camera, this is equipment rental here. This is how much we put into equipment rental. In the end, we ended up spending 1,300 and something. The color grading we did with this was for free. A lovely friend of mine, Ben Packer, insane color grader. In brief, I break down all my costs there, estimated costs, and I realize either A, holy shit, this is not gonna be profitable at all. This is gonna be a lot of work. I should not take this on. Or B, we can do this. Then I have a step 1.5, which is the actual cost. This is constantly being updated throughout the pre-production process. And then I have my team. Now this is obviously happening simultaneously with the estimated costs because I'm figuring out who I want to work with and then asking them for their rates and then figuring that out. And so that team table gets updated as I go along. Then I have research. And now this is where we get into the concept of the idea, the rough shot list and inspiration video. So I have all my research and I make my treatments. A treatment is, if you don't know, a pitch deck. Imagine a pitch deck or a concept mood board. We can see we have the kind of aesthetic we're going for. The story, I've created a timestamp breakdown for key moments in the song to illustrate some preliminary ideas. Intro, we start with Noah, the artist, standing on a raised platform in the middle of a room / studio with a moving light around him. 40 seconds, Noah performs to the camera solemnly whilst the light spins around him. We introduce slow shutter movements for cutaways. So this is like a very, very simple treatment. This is a GIF that I've added here. This is a McGee music video shot on 16mm film, I think, because I want to show essentially the vibe. It's about showing the vibe. This is something, the treatment that I wanted initially. This sort of romantic scene happened, but we didn't have the time / capacity to be able to do this. We also found that it was a little bit cheesy, so I'm always one for making cheesy shit. I would have loved to have something like this, but like I said, too cheesy for this. Yeah, and we just have more sort of inspiration here. We have the outro, 207 minutes. We have these falling petals, and I'm just conveying the ideas here through GIFs and through screenshots of other people's work and things that inspire me. And then also some writing, slow motion lip sync, gimbal shots, static zoom shots of Dan playing the guitar. He didn't in the end. Black and white scenes, top light, night times. Look and feel, this is like the vibe. What I do is I send this out to the musician after we've talked about concepts and ideas, and then they're like either like, yeah, awesome, or like, no, maybe let's change this bit here and there. We have the gear list. Obviously we have our ideas, so now we know what kind of gear we need. We have the gear inventory, so this is my gear inventory, things that I own. I have here the gear list for rental house. This is where we put in the necessary things we need, and we can send this and export this off to send to the rental house. I just changed the project name here to Noah Klein music video, and I basically have now a shot list. What I do with my shot list is I go through and I make a shot list with the director of photography, but first I make it for myself. As you can see on the left, we have B2, which is the shot name. So we just say B2, everyone look to the left. Okay, we know what we're talking about. Then we go location outside. That's very vague. Standing still without guitar, actor direction. Great. Focal length 35mm or 24mm. FPS 60 because I wanted it in slow motion potentially. Dolly forwards, the camera's dollying forwards, and the time for the shot is going to take 5 minutes. Now the reason why I do this is because I add up all of the time at the end, and as you can see, the sum at the bottom here says 220, so that's in minutes. And what it allows me to do is write all the shots that I think are really cool, and then I realize, holy shit, this is going to take us 8 hours to do, and that's just not realistic, and then I just cut back ruthlessly. That is why I make the shot list. It's more for time management and more for allowing the director of photography to figure out also between us how we're going to make this shot happen. Super useful.